And this is some big breaking news that's coming in at this point in time. Zydus Cadila has received approval for emergency use authorization from the Drug Controller General of India. This is the world's first and India's indigenously developed DNA-based vaccine for COVID, which will be administered in children and adults above 12. So essentially, this is the first COVID vaccine for children that's got the nod as far as India is concerned. Those are the details here. Big breaking news coming in. This is vaccines for children, which has now got the nod. Zydus Cadila gets the approval for emergency use, has got the emergency use authorization, as it's called, from the Drugs Controller General of India. This is the world's first and India's indigenously developed DNA-based vaccine that will be administered both in children and adults 12 and above. Those are the latest details here. We're just going to try and get a reporter to get more on this. Ayushman joining us for more on this. Ayushman, if you can take us through what the details are and what does this now mean in terms of timelines and processes that will be required for our children to actually start getting inoculated.
Well, it's been more than a month, Avni, that we saw the application of Zydus Cadila there with the regulator for the approval of its DNA-based vaccine. It's a vaccine which will be given through the applicator. It is not a needle-based vaccine, so the applicator will be needed while you are administering this vaccine. So this is a vaccine which is based on the DNA platform. It's a new vaccine. It's a new method that is there, and it's indigenous method that has been there in India, and it's the first vaccine of DNA platform which has got the approval. We have seen the mRNA vaccine getting approval, the viral vector method vaccines getting approval. So here in India, the second indigenous vaccine gets the approval, the regulatory nod from the regulators. And more importantly, Avni, while we are chasing the virus, it is more important to highlight here that this vaccine trial has also taken place in the 12 above category. So the adolescents can also be given the vaccines here. It is important to highlight here that it will be seen as to how much is the capacity of growth and production in the company, because the government aims somewhere about 5 crore vaccine doses in the coming future. How much of that is readily available? This is a company based out of Gujarat, and its 3-dose vaccine is there. So it is one of the first vaccines which has a DNA-based platform is there, and perhaps the first vaccine, indigenous vaccine of this type. So currently, it has got the approval, and it can be administered to the adolescents as well.
Yes, absolutely, Ayushman. And this is extremely important because obviously a lot of questions about vaccines for children we've also been asking for quite some time now. But like you pointed out, we still don't have details of the production capacity of the company. But any sort of timeline that we have or any other details about what is now the next steps required before it actually starts getting inoculated? When will that process start?
Well, I mean, from here on, it's not a very lengthy process that has to be followed. It is very easy. From here on, since the subject expert committee has recommended, the DCGI will give the formal approval, and from then the licensure will be issued to them. For that, an application has to be moved, and after that, we have seen the center procuring the order. The agreement will be signed between the government and the company. And as we said, we have seen those presentations, these lengthy presentations that the health ministry makes. In those presentations, they have put the number of about 5 crore. Currently, what is the capacity? We have tried to reach out all through the day because we were having these indications from the subject expert committee that somewhere the approval was given, though the company maintained silence, and also the health ministry was silent on it. So in the near future, we can expect the vaccines to be there in the market. But how soon can that be? That timeline only the company can give. And right now, we are trying to ask the company as to what is the deadline that they are aiming to hit the market.
All right, Ayushman, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. We'll, of course, keep coming to you as and when more details emerge. But let me go across to Dr. Sunila Garg, National Task Force member, who's joining us on the phone line. Thank you very much, Dr. Sunila, for joining us. This is extremely important development here. This is not just the first vaccine as far as children can be administered. It's indigenously developed. It's a DNA-based vaccine. So multiple firsts as far as this particular vaccine is concerned.
So I think it's a very, very positive news because we were also waiting. Because when people used to ask that when the next vaccines will be there and all that, this is one of our indigenously manufactured vaccine on a DNA platform, and we'll be able to administer to the children. So we'll be able to cover large population in every vaccine to our kitty. That means that we are able to vaccinate more number of people. So it is, and it is the world's first DNA vaccine, which makes us more proud also against novel coronavirus infection and developed by an Indian company. And it becomes the sixth vaccine which has been approved for use after Serum Institute, Covishield, Covaxin, Sputnik, and US-made Moderna and all that. And also, Johnson & Johnson, which will be coming to us. So it is really important to have this. And then another thing is it is meant for children also. So you see, though, I was never listening basically, but that parents are of the opinion that children, should be vaccinated first and all that, So this will also allay their apprehension and anxiety, and we'll be able to vaccinate children also. So I feel that this is a very good achievement, and we have got a newer vaccine in.
Yes, absolutely, Dr. Sunila. This is, like you pointed out, a very big achievement at this point in time with regard to this particular vaccine, which has got the nod here. But Dr. Garg, what do you see now going forward in terms of the timeline and when the inoculations for children will actually be able to start? Of course, a lot of it depends on the companies, what the information the company gives us in terms of production. But what can you tell us?
At least it will go by September. That is the minimum I can say. May go up till October as well. So because you see, once the permissions come in and the vaccines are available, so there is no delay. Because every vaccine has been given emergency use authorization. So, and this vaccine, basically also is the same in terms of that. So as soon as it is made available to us, because our vaccination programs, for populations are already in place. So we don't have to decide that, basically this is for which place. Already our demands are in place, our program is in place, and the vaccine requirements have been worked out for different states. And we know how much vaccination has been given to each state. So I don't think in terms of preparation it's going to take a lot of time.
Yes.
But it's only the technical formalities or the administrative formalities which are important. And so the vaccine will be administered as soon as it is available.